Good evening, friends. Meeting again in the session of Organon philosophy, and we're discussing regarding Kant's philosophy. The most difficult chapter from the Kant's philosophy is simple substance. But if you understand the concepts of simple substance, then you will understand it is not difficult. Only thing is that he tried to explain it in the scientific language, and that's why it becomes a little bit tough. Actually, in the sixth edition of Organ of Medicine, the aphorism number 9, Dr. Samuel Hahnemann defines this vital force, to which Kant has labeled by the name of simple substance. Because it is a substantial thing which Hahnemann tried to explain in that aphorism. He explains that in the healthy condition of man, the spiritual vital force that animates the material body. So he used to take into consideration both the aspects of human life, the material as well as the dynamic. And both of them constitutes the look, a substantial look, substantial understanding, looking toward the human aspect. And that he tried to explain over there. So it is when you have to think about vital principle or vital force or vital energy. These are the things. These are dynamic in origin. You without the physical body, you cannot explain. It requires two important things: the cause and effect. It requires something material in order to express the manifestations of it. Without it, it is not possible to understand the vital force. And that's why he has labeled it as a simple substance, without which the body is not having the animation. Anyone explains over there the same definition he is explaining with the help of this vital force, that in the healthy condition of man, the spiritual vital force that animates the material body, that is one function which he explains over there. That is the function of the vital force, the simple substance, which gives the animation, which gives the life to the body. Rules with unbounded sway, rules with unbounded sway, right from the head to top, everywhere it rules, it acts, because of which the way life principle thinks, accordingly the rest of the body works. So it rules over the whole human body and retains all the parts in the vital operation as regards all the parts in a admirable harmonious vital operation as regards both sensations and functions, so that our indwelling vision gifted mind can freely employ this living healthy instrument for higher purposes of our existence. So he explains each and every quality of that simple substance over there, and those few qualities already mentioned, already explained by him, and we have finished to understand that the simple substance is an active substance. It dominates and controls the body it occupies. That paragraph we have discussed in last session. So this is too important to understand. And then he explains further qualities of the vital force or simple substance. So let us go with the next paragraph where he starts. Examine the universe and behold the stars, the sun and the moon. They do not interfere with each other. They are kept in continuous order. Everything is in harmony and is kept so by the simple substance. We see cooperation in every degree, and this cooperation working in perfect harmony. We see human beings moving about. We see things going on about us on the earth. We see the trees of the forest making room for each other, existing in perfect harmony. The very sound of forest have harmony, and all this coordination is brought about by the simple substance. So he is explaining the concept of simple substance. The simple substance not only gives the animation to the human being, but it gives animation to each and every life. Then it gives animation because of which the planets remains over there in a particular orbit. They never collides on each other. This is very important thing, and this vital energy, the vital force, because of which there is specific relation, the harmony is getting maintained. This is the simple substance from which we grab specifically the energy. The human also grabs this very specifically from it. There is nothing more wonderful than the coordination of man's economy, his will and his understanding and his movement, which coordination is carried on by the life substance. So same is true with the man. His will and his understanding and his movements, they are under the under the domination of this vital principle, vital force. Without this, all matter is dead. If vital force is lost, if simple substance is lost, then it remains only a body. Then everything is dead and cannot be used for the higher purposes of its existence. By the aid of simple substance, the divine creator is able to use all created beings and forms for their higher purpose. And this there was some interruption in over there. Let us continue with it. So he's explaining the concept of simple substance, how it maintains the planet in orbit, how it maintains the trees in the forest, and everyone is in a perfect harmony with others. The plants are in harmony with the human beings. They prepares the oxygen for the human being. Human consumes the oxygen, leaves the carbon dioxide, and which is again utilized, and life cycle continues. See, everywhere there is a harmony. And who maintains this harmony? The simple substance which is there, that energy which maintains the harmony. So, what the last sentence is very important. By the aid of simple substance, the divine creator, that is the God, is able to use all created beings and forms for their higher purpose. So everything has its own value. Everything creates it in a proper manner. Matter is subject to the reduction and it can be continually reduced until it is in the form of simple substance, but it is not subject to restitution. No substance can be returned to its ultimate form after it has been reduced to its primitive form. It is not in the power of man to change from first to last. That is, it is not in his power to ultimate the simple substance. This is written for the supreme power himself, from whom power continually flows through all the primitive substance to the end, that is to the ultimate. Now, do you begin to see that thing that does not start from its beginning with a purpose is not a thing? Or to put it another way, what makes anything a thing because of its purpose or ultimate which is used, ultimate which is used, and there is never created a thing without a purpose. He is explaining the philosophy behind every creation. There is everything in this universe which has some purpose, which has certain entities. And these purposes are there. The human being is there. That is his purpose. The human being, every human life has its own specific purpose behind it. Behind everything, whatever develops in this universe has some purpose. So whenever the things happens like that, whenever there is a human being, human bonds, there is a purpose behind it. Every human born for doing something in his life, and not only the related with the humans, rest of the animals, the plants, for everyone lives. It is very important. So this simple substance which lies over there with each and every one has some some thought, some purpose, and ultimately there is a growth and it goes again further development. Last point which he has mentioned over there, this is written for the supreme power himself, from whom power continually flows through all primitive substance to the end, that is to the ultimate. Now do you begin to see that the thing that does not start from its beginning with a purpose is not a thing. So he is explaining philosophy. If something has developed, there is always a beginning, there is always an end. But if something is there where there is no does not start with the beginning with a purpose, it will not form. To put it another way, what makes anything a thing is because its purpose or ultimate, which is used, and there is never created a thing without a purpose. So everything has its own purpose. Every life has its own purpose, and that has been created for certain reason. If it does not exist in continuous series from first to last, it cannot be used for or of a purpose. Hence, the end is in the first, and the end is in the every succeeding link to its ultimate. The very form in which the use is to be appropriated and established. When you establish the first link in the chain, you have the end of the next link in the wheel. So the life cycle goes on. Forget about what Kent has said, just understand the thing. If you find it out, a human being aborts, then there is a gradual development which develops. Then the infant becomes child becomes an adult, goes into adolescence phase, then adolescence goes into the adult, then the later on old age starts, and he again dies. What happens? The life has begun with one body, it has developed, runs its up to a higher level, and it ends again. That life which leaves that body again goes with another body, again starts its, and this beginning and end which continuously flows. This is because simple substance which is there, which carries this thing, which is continuous process right from the beginning to the end. But whenever it enters into any life, it has its own purpose. For that purpose, it follows or it goes, enters inside that body. Then that purpose is finished, then it leaves, then it comes again out, and then it flows again with another life. And this flow is there, this flow is because of the simple substance. This is continuous. This is this is what he wants to explain, that simple substance which lies in this universe, which we grabs with the force of attraction during the process of fertilization, and then another change starts, another life starts. The simple substances may exist as simple, compound, or complex, and as such never disturb the harmony, but always continue from first to last, and in that way all purposes are conserved. Throughout chemistry, we can observe this compounding. We find iodine uniting with its base, that is, two simple substances compounding in keeping with their own individual plan, reliably and intelligently, in accordance with the affinities for each other. When substances come together in that way, they do not disturb the simple substance of each other. There is nothing destroyed. Each one retains its own identity, and they can be reduced again to their simples by the reactions and reagents. Now, all of these enters into the human body, and every element in the human body preserves its identity throughout, and wherever found can be identified. Such combinations, however, merely represents a composite state. But when these composite state substances and simple substances are brought into additional condition, that is, when they are presided over and dominated by something, they may be said to enter into very complex form, and in the body of a life force keeps every other force in order. Dynamic simple substances often dominate each other in proportion to their purpose, one having the higher purpose than the another. This vital force, which is a simple substance, is again dominated by another simple substance, still higher, which is the soul. It has been the aim of great many philosophers by study to arrive at some conclusion concerning the soul. They have attempted to locate it at some particular point, but we can see from the above that it is not a circumscribed location. He is explaining the exact philosophy of the human life. Human, take into consideration the human life, and there is a simple substance, that is vital force, is present in our body, because of which we are animated. For example, I am living because of my vital force, vital principle. What, because of what I am living, because I get the fuel, food, which has its own vital force, which is in a different form, which when consumed by our body gets converted into a certain energy and gives its energy for us in order to survive. There are many complex mechanisms happens. Sometimes that food is in the complex form, sometimes it is in a simple form, and that enters in our body. And when it enters in our body, there are various processes happens over there. So food itself has its own vital force. It enters in our body, generates its own energy, gives it to our vital energy, and maintains our harmony. This process is going on. The things are quite difficult to understand because all those things are very complex processes. Still, they are performed in a very, very, very simple manner. And because of which we remain in the state of health. We used to we used to go work and perform our activities. This is going on. This continues. These are very important, essential things we have to understand. The air we inhale, that air, the vital force is there. We used to call it by the name of pranavayu, which has a pran inside. Life is there inside. That enters in our body. Whatever is needed is taken inside. Rest of the things are not. Then whatever is not needed by our body is thrown away. Who does this? This has been done because of your life force, the vital force, the simple substance. There is a simple substance in that air that enters in your body. Then it provides, then it maintains the harmony inside you. Then you remain in the state of health. And this process goes on. This cycle goes on. This maintains you in such a manner. And this is what Animal wants to explain. There are many, many, many complex processes. This simple substance is present in the universe in every form, in the form of food, in the form of air, in the form of water. All those carry their simple substance, which enters in our body, maintains our vital force, vital and the simple substance in a energy, maintains the harmony, and all those processes which happens to be there, which are related one with the another, because of which the life process goes on. Everything remains in a harmony. Basically, this vital principle, to which later labeled by the name of a soul, one tries to find it out where is. Many people goes on finding where is that soul, but it is very difficult because things are dynamic. You cannot catch the things you cannot catch unless and until you express it with the help of some material substance from physical body. And that's why we used to talk like that you get your identity because of your soul. I am Prasad. I feel I am Prasad because there is a vital principle. Once I die, what remains is the body. So this is very important entity. Without a body, you cannot explain the identity. You cannot locate the soul, and that everyone tries, but without taking a material entity, you cannot explain, and that's why it has a substantial value. So this simple substance, which is there in every human body, has its own qualities. It maintains this harmony. It maintains the harmony between different systems which are present. And this harmony throughout it maintains and in the form of sensations and function. So one more paragraph he explained. In considering simple substance, we cannot think of time, place, or space because we are not in the realm of mathematics, nor the restricted measurements of the world of space and time. We are in the realm of simple substance. It is only finite to think of place and time. Quantity cannot be predicated of simple substance, only quality in the degree of fineness. We'll see the importance of this in its special relation to homeopathy. by using an illustration. When you have administered sulfur 55 mg in infrequent doses and find it will work with it will not work any longer, you give the same potency and see curative action taken up at once. Do we not see by this that we have entered new series of degree and are dealing entirely with the quality? So he's explaining the question of quantity never comes when things become dynamic. When you talk about the simple substance, you cannot measure how much simple substance is there. You cannot say this is 5 milligram, 10 milligram, 1 kg, 2 kg. It's not like that. The entities which are dynamic, you cannot measure. The question of quantity never comes whenever the thing becomes dynamic. You cannot measure anger. You cannot measure love. You cannot measure sadness. The things which are absolutely dynamic cannot be measured. And that's why it matters only with the quality. Anger, you can say, yes, he was too angry. But how much angry? You can just say like that. But you cannot measure. The things are same when you talk about the homeopathic potencies. The quality becomes changed every time. You go from the 1 m to 10 m, 10 m to 50 m to the cm. The quality matters. The quality changes. Quantity never matters. Whether you give one pill, whether you give four pills, whether you give 10 pills, because it is not a quantity which is there. The quality is there. And this is very important that when it matters with the human life, it is also related with the quality. It is not related with the quantity of it. And then he explains one more thing. The simple substance also has adaptation. One more quality of the simple substance. What is adaptation? Adaptation to the situation, adaptation to the things which happens around you. And this is the important quality because of which person remains in the state of health. We adapt according to the situation. How do we adapt? For example, there is a tremendous cold outside. What do you do? You wear a sweater, you wear a very hot clothes. That is a process of adaptation. And why who do that? It is not the body do that. It is the vital principle inside you. That is what is labeled by the name of simple substance. That asks you to wear the sweater. That asks you to wear the hot clothes. That is the process of adaptation. And that is one more quality which he mentions over there. The simple substance also has an adaptation. At this point, man's reasoning comes up, leading to false conclusions from the appearance, so that he has accepted what is called the environment theory. That the individual has an adaptation to his environment is not questioned, but what is that adapts itself to environment? The dead body cannot. So there is a dead body cannot adapt. The live being adapt, and that's why the changes happens. We have seen learn in science, whenever we have learned the geography and everything. The human skin changes according to the environment. In the Asian countries, our skin is not that white, which is there with the European people. Because we adapt the situation, there is strong rays of sun which are there in Asian countries, which are not there in European countries. That's why their skin remains absolutely white. Our skin becomes dark in order to not get affected because of the effect of sun rays. So this is process of adaptation. That process of adaptation is not of the body, it is of the vital principle or simple substance. The dead body cannot. When we reason from within out, we see that the simple substance adapts itself to its surrounding and tends to adapt its house to the surrounding. And thus human body is kept in state of order, in the cold or in the heat, in the wet and damp, and all circumstances. The surrounding themselves produce nothing, are not causes, they are only the circumstances. So there are many things happens around you. The environment changes, environment in the form of actual environment that changes. So there is dampness, you adapt. There is rains are going on, you adapt. Every change in the weather, you adapt. So, because of which you remains in the state of health. Every time you never gets affected. Only those who are susceptible gets affected in the process of adaptation, and they show signs and symptoms. So causes are not lies exteriorly or outside. The causes lies in the process of adaptation of the vital principle, vital force, because of which human remains in the state of health. And this is best quality of the simple substance. He is explaining one by one all qualities and functions of the this simple substance. So if you understand just a definition given by Hahnemann in the ninth aphorism, he explains over there every quality mentioned in that aphorism in relation with the simple substance. So he explains how it animates the body, how it rules with the body, how it adapts the body, how it maintains and regulates the different systems of the body. So all those functions of the vital force, which Hahnemann have explained over there, can try to explain and illustrate them in this chapter. Don't take stress of that specific language which he has used. Understand it with your own way. Just understand Hahnemannian definition and write down the qualities of the simple substance. It becomes quite easy. So underline the sentences over there. The simple substance also has adaptation. This is very important quality. So one by one, if you go on writing it down in your or just underline it, then you will understand. Yes, these are the qualities of simple substance. Don't stress of simple substance word. Forget the simple substance. Make it a vital force, and then you understand. Then you understand it in a better manner. So he's explaining all those complex processes which happens inside the human being and which are maintained by this simple substance. So this is we will stop over here and we'll continue with tomorrow's session. I think two more lectures will be required to complete this understanding of simple substance. But rather, it is very important to know the qualities of them. If you understand the qualities, then you will understand how this simple substance maintains your health at the same time. If it disturbs, how it turns into production of a disease. So that's all for today. Tomorrow we'll continue with the next session. And in the evening, we'll start with new drug, one more polycrest, that is lycopodium. So that's all for today. Thank you being there. We'll have a discussion in the evening. Okay. Thanks a lot.